Hey guys, it's Tim here at JK Boots, and today we want to do a video and answer one of the most asked questions that we have, which is, what is the difference between our Superduty S and our OT? Well, for starters, they're both great. And they're both exactly made in the same place with all the same materials and by the same people. They look similar, but the difference is actually pretty major, and we'll see it when we kind of get a little bit closer and zoom in. So let's start first with the Superduty S. The Superduty S carries that classic kind of construction where that midsole, this is the key, that leather midsole, that thick oak tan leather midsole, runs from heel to toe all the way through. And that gives that rigidity. It gives it that, that stability. It just gives you that extra meat in the sole area of the boot, and it's much more stiff. It's much more kind of like a platform style. It's just more meat between your foot and the ground. And so therefore, there's a little bit less flexibility, there's a little bit less mobility, and a little bit more weight. And again, these differences are pretty small, but they're big enough that we decided that we needed a different model for this, and the differences are large enough that I feel that in the long term, you would actually feel them depending upon what you're doing. That's the biggest difference right there. It's just that midsole. If we look at the OT, the way that it's made, we call it our flexi design, but we have the midsole run from heel, and then we feather it out right at the ball of the foot. And so that's what gives us that flexibility. It removes some of the weight, it removes some of the rigidity, you might say. And right here in this area where you kind of, is like the most flex part of your foot, if you're kneeling or running or jumping or whatever, it's so much more flexible, it's so much more light, it's so much more nimble. And again, we're talking about, ounces here of weight, but in the long run, it actually does make a difference. The next difference comes in with the sole. With the OT, we're doing that unit sole, so it's a 132 unit sole, and it's the honey one. And so the base of the heel is a little bit wider, and it's because we're using this flexi design, this sole works a lot better for this particular boot, for this particular style. On the Superduty S, we're using the two separate pieces for the sole. We use that RedX one, and then we throw in a one lift base and then a separate cap. So other than that, the arch is the same, the last is the same, the toe shape is the same, the heel height is the same. On the OT, it's just a little bit taller, like a smidge, but so minute, we're talking millimeters here. So the height is the same, we're both coming in at 8-inch. The weight of the leather is the same. We even like to go rough out, lower, smooth upper for both the boots too. So in terms of which one's for you, again, comes down to personal preference. Like in this boot game or boot world, it's just so interesting how everyone is a little bit different. And so it's all about, we try to have as many models as possible for the individual. Like if you're the guy consistently hopping in and out of their truck, maybe you're making deliveries, or maybe you're, going from job site to job site, or maybe you just need to be fast on the job. I know there are some framers out there that they'll stand in one place, they run around all day. I think the OT is for you. Or maybe you're on the other side where it's like, hey, I need the power, I need the thickness, I need the protection. Maybe you're a welder and you've got a lot of sharp objects on the ground, maybe you're in a gravel yard or things like that. Well, then maybe the Superduty S is for you, because there's a little bit more meat there. So it's more about figuring out which boot is gonna suit you better, as opposed to, it's like not one is worse than the other, they're just different. And even to even promote even more how similar they are, both of them are on that 9-iron oak tan leather insole. So you're standing on the same insole. The difference literally only starts to come in when we're looking at the midsole and then the midsole on this one, where this one is feathered out and then this one runs all the way through. So that is the difference between the S and the OT. Other than that, they're very similar. So yeah, pick which one's best for you. Try both. Read reviews about what people have to say. Go look at our Superduty S video, go watch our OT boot video, and kind of see what's better for you. And yeah, we really appreciate you guys following our content. Continue to follow us, comment below what other videos you'd like to see, and we really appreciate you. Have a nice day.